example, last week when George was here, you were going to talk about correlation and causation on the basis of those questions that I gave you to think about and write about. You'll see that there are lots of old homeworks out there with answer keys. So clearly we're not going to use those for your homework this semester, but you can look at them and, you know.
Those keys are in MathPad,
Right.
File format.
Right. So if you have MathPad, you can look at the answer.
Almost everything that I can do in R, I can also do in MathPad. And certainly at our level in here, I can do everything in MathPad. And because MathPad allows you to do some really good graphs. For our purposes, I often do it there.
There are lecture notes out on the web. There's other thing, problems in Matthew. If you go down here and you look at econometrics notes, you'll see that there are a bunch of different things that I've done in both live math and MathCAD. When I first started doing computer graphics and computer algebra, the two easiest to use were this thing called live math and MathCAD. Live math still has a free viewer that they distribute. So you can go to the live math website and download the free viewer, which will allow you to open any of these links that have that talk about live math beside them. So the computer here in the podium does not have doesn't have live math on it, and my computer is still working on trying to start, so I can't show you. But live math is really neat. For example, if I have a 3D picture, there are some 3D pictures in your textbook, and when you open your book and you look at the graph, it's a static graph. It doesn't do anything. But with live math, if I sweep the cursor across the image, it causes the image to spin and rotate. So you can look at the 3D image from any angle that you want. It also allows you to animate the images. MathCAD has the same facility. It's a little harder to do, but the same facility. So you'll see a few references to live math, and you can go to the live math website and get the free plugin that goes with whatever browser you use. So in the first column, you'll see topics from green. I don't know if in this most recent edition, the appendices are still numbered the same way. He has the same material in the book. I don't know if linear algebra is still in Appendix A, or he's moved it to a chapter, or he's moved it to Appendix B, or exactly what he's done. It's still Appendix A. So depending on the edition that you got, you can usually rely on probability and inference being the more or less correct chapter or appendix heading. Sometimes the authors, you all know the economics of new editions, right? It's preserve the market, preserve the used book market from cannibalizing book sales. It doesn't have much function other than that. Green, when he puts a new edition out, usually has a bunch of new material in it. Unlike Principles of Economics or Intermediate Micro textbooks, which come out with a new edition every 30 years, and the only thing that's different is the size of the page. So you'll see that there's not exactly, but pretty close, a one-to-one correspondence between what's indicated here, that's the topic to be discussed that day, and a chapter heading in green. Sometimes I will be behind what the syllabus says. You're still responsible for reading this stuff, even though I'm behind. You have a midterm exam on the 22nd. There's an old exam there. Oops. And it looks like the key is in MathCAD. But at least having the questions is better than having nothing. So you can see how I write exams. The exams will be closed book. You probably will need to bring a calculator with you. You cannot use your cell phone as a calculator, but you can bring a programmable calculator if you want. But not your cell phone. What else do I need to say? Yes?
Will we use graphical calculators in your exams or scientific?
If you want.
But not necessarily.
You could get by. You could do my exams with just a regular computer, regular handheld calculator that just calculates numbers. I don't want you to go out and buy one of those really fancy Hewlett-Packard programmable calculators like my kids have. Handheld calculator that does all the usual functions: multiply, divide, logs, suffice. The more sophisticated the calculator, the easier it gets. But that's up to you. My undergraduate students in high school, they have bought handheld calculators, but they don't know how to use them. I mean graphing calculators. They don't know how to use them because in their high school math classes, their teacher does everything as straight lines, and the equation of a line can only be y is equal to mx plus b. If it takes any other form than that, if you substitute different symbols in for y and x, they're completely lost. If you switch the y and the sides of the equal sign that the y and the x are on, they're completely lost. If you call the slope b instead of m, they're completely lost. If you call the intercept a instead of b, they're completely confused. Okay, so what calculator you use is up to you, as long as you know how to use it. So you have a midterm on October 22nd. That's not too far away. Thanksgiving break on the 26th. We have no class because the university closes in the middle of the day on Wednesday, right? Or do we have class in the morning on Wednesday? Anyway, we don't have class Wednesday night. And then your final exam is on the 17th. This year, as the calendar worked out, this year our final exam is a little bit earlier than usual. The last couple of years, the final exam in this class turned out to be like on Thursday the 21st, and the grades were due on that following Monday. So I was grading everybody's exam and their research papers and a stack of underwriting exams. It was a nightmare. Last year and the year before, I had to read about 1,000 pages of exams and research papers in 3 days to get grades in on time. So there's a little bit of a reprieve. So if you're going somewhere over the winter break, do not leave before December 17th. Do not get your cheap charter flight departing before December 17th. You can go on the 18th, but don't go on the 16th and don't go on the 17th. Okay? The university is in session and they expect you to be here on the 17th. So that I don't have to write multiple versions of the same exam. Because it's very difficult, if you've ever done any teaching, it's very difficult to write 2 exams for the same audience of comparable difficulty. It's just the way it works out. And so it wouldn't be fair to the person who's leaving early to get a really hard exam just because that's the way it was. And everybody else got an easy one. Or the other way around. Okay, so make sure you're here the 17th and make sure you're here October 22nd. I had pointed out to you that you have to write a paper for this class, a research paper. Are you going to win the Nobel Prize with the research paper that you write? No. I don't expect you to write a paper that will win you the Nobel Prize. I don't expect you to produce a publication quality paper in your paper for Economics 8009. You don't have enough time. It's just not possible for you to write a publication quality paper in the next 3.5 months. In fact, to show you how long it takes to do papers, let's go back to here, and I can tell you how long it